you know what? It's such a gorgeous day. I actually think I'm going to do my video out here. We're always in the house when we do videos, and I hate that. Reason being is because I love the atmosphere. I love the background, everything when you're outside. So you know what? Today's the day where I stay outside, enjoy some nature, and shoot this video. Hey guys, it's Jordan with Little Joy's Vlogs, and guess what? As I said, I'm doing another video today. And you may be wondering, you know, we say we're going to do a lot of videos, so what's been going on exactly? You know, it's gotten to the point where we're like, we're going to upload more, and we never do. And I feel that I owe an explanation as to why that keeps happening, because it's quite interesting, honestly. For one, today is, well, technically yesterday was the start of my new insurance for my job, which helped cover a lot of our infertility costs. One of the biggest issues we've been going through is that for the past 3 years, we've been paying out of pocket for everything. And I do mean literally everything. And what that has done, unfortunately, was put us through a huge financial strain recently. And the insurance we needed this time was just like one of the reasons I even got the job. Now, the job itself is great. Makes pretty good money. Benefits are amazing. But the insurance for the infertility stuff is what really like sold me on it, for the simple fact that we just can't keep paying out of pocket for stuff. Now, there might be some deductible things along those lines, but it's so minute that that's not going to even bother me one bit. So that's been one of the biggest things, is financial changes, and it's been quite difficult to manage those, as we've talked to a lot of people on Instagram who spent tens of thousands of dollars on things out of pocket or getting loans, and we were going the same route. And you know, and now it's time that hopefully let some of the medical system take over. So that's one of the issues. The second issue is that we both actually switched jobs. My previous job was not paying me good money in any sense. They kept telling me like, oh, we'll give you hours. And I've always been a commission-based person, because I like the fact that I determine what I'm going to make. I get to determine, you know, what my worth is. And not saying hourly is bad or anything along those lines. I just like to work off of it because I light the fire under my ass like you wouldn't believe. And I was a plumber. I went from one company that was commission-based, but I had to own my own vehicle, everything along those lines, and paying for infertility stuff, and then paying for transmissions and all this other stuff, it got out of hand real fast. I was at that company like since we started our journey, so you can imagine me paying $2,000 for a new transmission, and then paying $1,000 or $2,000 or a couple $100 or whatever the case may be for doctor's visits, for medications, for stuff like that. And it just got out of hand, and unfortunately I had to leave that job. Even though it was a financial strain, I was still able to pay the bills in a sense, but I couldn't maintain my vehicle anymore. So then I went to a new job that was all hourly, doing plumbing, and they were nice and all, but that was literally as far as it went. I went from making, you know, $1,200-$1,300 a week to $300 a week. So that was not going to fly at all. And I stayed there for a while because that kept telling me it's going to get better, it's going to get better. And at the time too, my wife was working at Toys R Us, and we all know the situation with Toys R Us. And you know, our schedules are different, everything along those lines. We still pumped out videos. I was off on weekends, blah blah blah. It was great. And then once the Toys R Us situation happened, my wife got a new job, which she's making pretty good money now. And I got fired because I feel that I was complaining too much about hours, which, I mean, if you went from, you know, $1,300 to $300 an hour, and you're only getting, you know, I mean, $300 an hour, which was $300 an hour, $300 a week, and you're getting paid $20-something an hour, but only working 10, 15 hours, you know, they can pay as much as they want hourly. If you're not making anything, then, you know, it's not going to help. And then we still have bills and everything else. But with that being said, the new job I'm at, like I said, with the great benefits and all that jazz, our schedules are so like insanely different. Mine is computer generated, meaning that my boss like says like, okay, I need him this, and this, and it just changes my schedule. Like this morning, I have to be in at 9 o'clock tomorrow I have to be in at 12 o'clock, and then I could be in at 5 o'clock one day, and you know, it's I enjoy the job. That's just the only thing that might become problematic, but I'm not saying that it's going to be an issue for me. So if my boss is watching this, you know I like my job, and I'm not complaining. But at the same time, too, when it comes to our YouTube, things along those lines, it's a little bit harder because since our schedules conflict, it's becoming more difficult to actually sit down together and do videos. But at the same time, too, you're seeing me on the new Galaxy S9, and I was always so keen on using my Canon for recording and doing B-roll, things along those lines, and I still plan on making the best videos I can. That is not the issue at all. But at the same time, it was so much of a setup and things along those lines that it took more time just to start recording than anything else. And plus, we were always in the house, so it's not like we were out and about doing things. So I told my wife this morning, I said, I want to upload more to YouTube. Let's just use our phones. You know, I can figure out a way to make the footage look great, do some B-roll stuff, things on those lines. And I talk about B-roll a lot because I'm a huge fan of photography and cinematography. I watch a lot of tutorial stuff like Peter McKinnon and other people on YouTube, and I enjoy that feel because I've always wanted to do cinematic videos and my pictures on Instagram, our pictures on Instagram. I do the photography, and my wife is an awesome model to do it, but I've gotten a lot better because I just like to learn. So I want my videos to increase and my pictures to increase over time. But with that being said, when I was using the Canon camera all the time, it was very difficult because, like I said, I'm getting lights and everything else. So the low light on this is great. I'm going to focus on these cameras for a while. My wife's we might upload separately, together, things along those lines. But honestly, I love this camera. It looks great. I mean, it goes in and out of focus every once in a while. It's because I'm actually moving around on a selfie stick, but I can't complain. I think it looks gorgeous. But honestly, I just wanted to give you all an update. And since we have these phones, we're on Instagram a lot. I feel that we can start being on YouTube a lot. YouTube's mobile app, it's great in terms of uploading video. It's great in terms of using hashtags, everything. So I feel that, I want to take you all on our journey because honestly, if it wasn't for you all, I think we would have stopped doing social media a year ago. And our following on Instagram is not that big on our personal page. But the love we get is amazing because we don't need a huge following to feel so much love from people. And in all honesty, you all have helped us personally stay with doing this because it's a way of venting, it's a way of letting our stresses out, it's a way of letting our emotions out. But the crazy thing is, we never expect it to happen. We're actually helping other people by relating and sharing and stuff like that, and we never expected that, And honestly, we didn't even expect to be vlogging about infertility stuff. We expected to be doing, family vlogs by now, which is interesting because 3 years ago when we started our first Instagram page, that was actually school bus. When we started our first Instagram page, that was actually for us personally. And what we wanted to do was to share our journey and other people's, kind of like a community vlog. We like knowing what other people are doing and what they're going through. And we love connecting with people, but once it became, okay, we're not pregnant now, when we got more submissions from there, we just decided, hey, just make it a shout out page, just forget it. Just make a shout out page and we'll share once we actually have a story to share. But when we start our own personal page, it's the engagement rate on that page compared to our personal page is insane. On Little Joys, it's 2%. On our personal page, it's 15% last time I checked. And having a 15% engagement rate on Instagram is crazy good. And I don't really care about the number. I care about the fact that people care so much. And you all have no idea what that means to us. So, and we almost feel bad when we don't upload. It's kind of interesting. We were hey, we need to get a video out, but we want people to know what's going on because you all help us so much. And I feel like I'm rambling, but I just have a lot to say, and I know my wife does too, but she's at work right now. She goes to work earlier than I do. But like, it's just amazing. You know, you all have been truly amazing. Even though I'm looking at a camera right now, I know I'm talking to hundreds of people, and we love you all so much for it. And like I said, we're starting new insurance today that will cover quite a bit of costs through infertility, and we're just going to take you all along on that. You know, we can't wait. Hopefully this is finally it for us. I'm always trying to remain positive for my wife, but positivity can only go so far without results. So hopefully, you know, we'll get those results soon. So thank you so much, guys. Expect a lot more content. Follow us on Instagram. We're on there 1,000 times a day, whether it's stories or posting pictures. And I mean, we love hearing from you all. So anything you have to share, anything you'd like to say, just leave it in the comments and we'll get straight to it. So love you guys, and thank you so much. See you on the next one.